Hello, this is Igoro, host of the Igoro Show, and you are listening to the Steve and Crypto Show. So keep your ears open and your mouth shut.
Hey guys, welcome to the Steve and Crypto Show, presented by thestevestrout.com. I'm Steve.
I'm Crypto Zoo.
How you guys been doing? Hopefully you guys enjoyed the last episode when we talked about another bad Zack Snyder movie, and we were visited by Carlos Rafael to tell us about his Kickstarter for his new comic, which launched the day after the last episode did. So that's still going, so get over there, check that out.
Yeah.
The details are in the last episode. You can find it on social media. Go support that comic. It looks like it's going to be pretty cool. He sent me a couple samples, and the art's cool. The story is pretty good, so I think you guys will dig it. So get over there, check it out. If you enjoyed that episode, enjoy all our other stuff, visit our Buy Me a Coffee page, buymeacoffee.com/SteveCrypto, and contribute to the show. Kick us a little something to help us out, help us improve the show, help us make the best show we can.
That's right. Once again, thank you to anyone who has contributed so far. Thank you once again.
And we want to do something nice. Like, we would like to be able to do, special contributor only episodes, but Crypto has family. I have work, which is, I'm probably at work more than I'm at home, and it just makes it really hard to do that. So we want to do something special for you guys for contributing. So anybody who contributes between now and July 31st, we're going to put you in a drawing, and we're going to randomly pick one of you guys you're going to get a cool mystery prize pack that we're going to put together. We don't know what yet, but we'll come up with some cool shit for you. Promise.
That's right. You like free stuff? We know you do.
I'm sure we got cool stuff lying around. We got fucking tons of Funko Pops and all kinds of nonsense.
I got a couple things on my shelf right now that I'm thinking about
giving
away to that lucky winner.
We're going to hook you up with that prize pack. And not only that, we're going to invite the winner, the contributor that gets chosen at random, of course, to come on the show. Because we want to hear about you guys, too. We want to hear what you're into, what you're about, what gets you going. You can come on and talk about anything you want. You can come and talk about fucking baking cupcakes. I don't care what. Just come on, tell us about it. Just don't bring no religion,
no
racism, no politics. Don't bring no bullshit. Nothing that would get you punched in the face. Don't bring anything that would get you punched in the face.
You know what we like to talk about. If you listen to the show, you know what we like to talk about. That doesn't mean you got to come here and talk about just the same shit, but come in and open up the doors a little further, like Steve was just saying. Maybe you're an exterminator or something like that. You want to come tell us about that job, or what it's like digging under old houses or something. Who knows?
Anything. Tell us about your kitten. I don't care. But we want to talk to you and we want to hang out with you. So let's do it. So between now and July 31st, head over to buymeacoffee.com/SteveCrypto and kick a little something and get in the drawing. And let's have some fun. Let's chat. We want to meet you guys.
Yeah, let's spark some conversation.
So, we're going to talk about some random stuff in this episode that's been happening lately in the news. And we're also going to have one of our promo segments from one of our creative friends. This one's going to be from our buddies at Mad Bros Media, who invited us on their show recently to chat about what we do, and we wanted to return the favor because they're good guys. They're from the same area as us, and we kind of help each other out at conventions and all that good stuff, which is firing back up. Conventions are coming back soon.
That's right.
Some local stuff. We might actually go. There's a small local comic and collectibles show that we might hit up and kind of go around and introduce you guys to some of the local creators. Possibly, that's not set in stone yet, but that might be a thing. And
yep,
probably our regional horror convention, Crypticon, there's a really good chance that we'll have a little representation there, which will be awesome.
And Steve's been there before, man. You've been barking up that tree with me for a long time. It's just never worked out. I've always had a show to perform at or work or whatever it might be. So I'm really trying to go.
It's my hands down favorite convention to visit. The very best. It's the most, you know what I mean? It's always a good
It's right
crowd.
up our alley.
It's right up our alley. It's a good crowd. It's still affordable. The guests are amazing. It's like you're not going to go to any other convention and mingle with the guests or have a drink with the guests, eat food. You know what I mean? Just chill with the guests. Like you get treated like family there.
Yep. Yeah, we'll definitely let you guys know more info on Crypticon as we hear about it. At this point, they've basically just announced that it is happening, and they're going to be following, all safety precautions. I believe 55% of the county, is vaccinated. They've thought, what the hell? Let's give it a shot and let's try it. As long as people are safe and come in there and are, using common sense and maybe still wearing a mask if you think that you need to, then go ahead and, let's just try to have fun in the safest way that we can.
Exactly. So it's all about having fun. Since we kind of veered off where I was heading, I wanted to bring up the new Conjuring movie that just released on HBO and in theaters. Like, I haven't watched it yet. I know you haven't watched it yet, but a lot of our friends and, followers and listeners have been, just hyping it up and saying good things about it. I've been hearing, 3/4 of the people are giving it a thumbs up. That's pretty good. That's pretty good for me. That's what I like to hear. I was not a huge fan of the Conjuring movies. I'm not big into like the possession and like demonic haunting. That's not really my thing. I'd rather watch an bad 80s slasher or something. But there were good movies for that subgenre of horror. I enjoyed them.
Yeah.
Compared to other movies similar.
Yeah, I gotta say, I was late to the party with The Conjuring, but I really enjoyed it. I found the DVD at Walmart for $5 or something, and thought I'll probably like this, and if not, I'm not losing out on much money. So I just bought it and gave it a chance, and I went home and had all the lights out. Was just in bed, like watching it by myself, and as quiet as could be, and kind of got into it, and it was pretty fun. I have a high tolerance for scares and for horror, but that one kind of got me. And it's not, for anyone that's seen it, you already know, but it's not gruesome whatsoever. It's not like a slasher film, but no, they definitely make the hair stand up.
It always keeps you because something's going to happen. So you're kind of on the edge of your seat waiting for it, but they're good. Like it's not super predictable, like a lot of movies like that, which is cool. But the reason I bring that up is, we both like comic books too, and DC is kind of jumping on the whole. They've had horror comics in the past with like Swamp Thing and all that. Constantine, it's kind of horror, but they're jumping on the comic thing by putting their own horror imprint, and they're launching it with a prelude to this Conjuring movie called Conjuring the Lover, which is their new comic. I don't know much about it yet, but I just thought it was kind of a cool thing for DC to kind of excuse me, jump in and launch. It was smart, like the timing to launch right when this movie came out.
Yeah.
People are going to be so hyped off that movie and like, oh shit, there's a Conjuring comic. Let me go get it now.
Yeah, it definitely makes me want to catch up, even though I read a little info on it, and it's saying that it's supposed to be a prequel, right? This comic is a prequel to The Conjuring.
To this movie, this particular movie, I think.
Right.
I don't know. There's like I see like this timeline thing floating around on social media of like what order to act the movies fall, like with like The Nun and all the, what's the other ones, like Annabelle, The
Nun. Yeah, they've kind of made their little universe within this,
right?
This horror thing. It's cool.
It's crazy they made it from just like a story, about some haunting, and they kind of turned it and expanded on it and made it this whole thing, which making money. So
oh yeah, I mean, it's something that we're used to seeing from Marvel, like this would be more of their doing, but it's cool to see that in the horror genre.
Yeah, now. I love seeing them build like the universe like that, and it puts it kind of more on the map. You know what I mean? Like more mainstream. Like it was always, horror was not that it's not like a mainstream thing, but it's kind of like on the fringes.
The black sheep. It's
kind of on the fringes, Yeah.
It always has been the black sheep of the film family, whatever you want to call it.
Absolutely, for sure.
I was reading a little bit about it, and it seems like they're letting some of the creators of this comic book look at a room in like the Devil Made Me Do It. They're like, pick a room and pick an object in the room, and then write about that. Try to come up with a story off of that object.
The object. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because there's all these possessed items in The Conjuring. Like there's a room in the house of the investigators.
Yeah.
Where they don't touch anything. They're like, everything in this room has been possessed, or around something that's been possessed. So it's kind of a cool idea to tell one of the creators, like, hey, just here's this room right here. A still shot from the movie or whatever. Pick something, and we're gonna make a story out of it.
Right.
So just adding to the universe.
Yeah.
I mean, they could go so long with that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I just thought of one more that's supposed to be in that same universe. Isn't it? And I could be wrong. Isn't La Llorona supposed to be connected to that somehow too?
No, that's like a folk tale.
Okay.
It's like an old Latin American folk tale.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's cool. Like the comic, I like the idea, and there's a ton of really good horror-based comics. I mean, some a little more leaning towards horror, some kind of based on horror, like Dynamite Comics has their Elvira comic, who is the Mistress of the Dark. She's like the queen of horror. They have their Vampirella series, has been ongoing for off and on for freaking 50 years. Our buddies Cullen Bunn and Blackie Shepherd has their comic coming out really soon. The Reanimator, The Eternal Lie.
That's right.
Another good horror comic coming out. Those guys are cool.
For anyone who hasn't checked it out, you go back to our archive episodes, and we have a little interview with both of them, and where they talk all about that. They go in depth.
Yeah, like that. They ran a very successful crowdfunding campaign for it, and just blew it out the water. And like the book will be out soon. I'm excited to get my copy of it. What other good ones? There's I'm pretty sure there's like a Alien comic based on the Alien franchise. IDW has Godzilla comics. Boom Studios, they're one of the better. I think they're one of the more rising comic companies. They've been around a while, but the stuff they're putting out is like selling out like crazy. Stuff like Proctor Valley Road was a really cool. I read the first issue of that and talked about it a little bit on thestevestrout.com. They have one called Something is Killing the Children, which is like blowing up. That's like selling out every damn month. It's just so much fucking cool shit. The EC Comics reprints, those are cool. The old EC horror books, those are awesome. There's so much shit, man. It's cool, man. And then there's a ton of, I see Kickstarters and crowdfunding things for, indie creators putting out horror comics all the time. And it looks like really good shit. So, come tell us about it. If you're working on a comic or something, come on the show. Tell us about it. We want to promote it. We want to let you promote it. We want to hear about it. So
that's right. And, if you're listening right now and someone who's a creator, if you're a creator yourself, just, get a hold of us. We'd love to have you on.
Not just comics. I'm talking, if you're making a movie, you're writing a book, you have a album coming out, just anything, doing something creative. We want to talk about it. Tell us about it. Extra points if it's horror themed, because we love that. What's some other cool shit happening?
Oh man, I mean, there's a few new movies coming out. We don't have a ton of news or a ton of information on some of them, but I know Hocus Pocus 2 is on the way.
Yeah, Hocus Pocus 2 should be fun. I don't know how soon it's coming, but it should be pretty cool.
Yep. They recently wrapped up production on Thor: Love and Thunder, I believe. I can't really tell you too much else besides that.
I don't know anything about it, but that did wrap.
Yeah. So that's the first Marvel title to get a fourth sequel, I believe.
Is that the fourth Thor movie already?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
yeah.
Shit. Yeah.
Yep. So it's the first one. Even Iron Man hasn't had 4 movies on his own yet. So
no,
that's kind of big for the God of Thunder.
Yeah, man, that's exciting. I didn't even think of that.
One that's already out now. People probably know about this. I mean, if you have Disney Plus, you probably noticed that Raya is out now to watch. And honestly, I watched it.
That's been out a couple of weeks, right? For a little bit.
Maybe
I think you can actually buy that. You could buy that in the store now.
Well, you could buy it, yeah, but it's out for you can watch it for free on Disney Plus now.
Oh, it's free now.
Yeah, it's not. It's you don't have to pay extra.
I almost spent $30 to watch it a few weeks ago.
We almost did too.
I'm gled
we almost did.
I'm still tempted with Cruella, but I don't know.
Raya is worth. Oh, what you hearing about Cruella?
I'm hearing just good and bad. Like, I haven't heard enough good to make me want to spend $30.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But we'll see.
Well, Raya is pretty good, man.
I heard it got a cool soundtrack, but yeah.
Yep. Cruella does. I'll be seeing that one eventually, but I've seen Raya and I loved it. It's really good Disney movie. It has a great message. There's some humor in it, of course. There's a couple of good actors that are doing voices in it, like the grandma from Fresh Off the Boat, and a few other people. I can't think of the names right now, but any Disney movie that has fart jokes in it is cool with me.
Fart jokes are good. I like fart jokes. Speaking of Disney Plus, fucking Loki next weekend.
Oh,
that's the one.
It next weekend? Did it get pushed back?
I believe it comes out the 9th, right?
Oh, I thought it was the 11th.
11th. One.
Yeah,
next
so
weekend.
This Friday,
this coming weekend. Yeah, something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Hopefully I get to start it this weekend. I'm going to be out of town, which actually might put a damper on next week's episode. We may have a little delay. We may have a week off from the show. But if we do, make sure to go back and listen to old episodes. Check out something you might have missed. And if you want to know which one to watch or listen to, you can't watch them. I mean, if you have a really good imagination, you could listen and watch us. But if you do, just imagine me looking just like Chris Hemsworth, and he's Paul Rudd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
I'm cool with that.
Imagine us like that.
Hey,
and
I'm cool with that. Paul Rudd doesn't age.
There you go.
He still looks like he's in Clueless back in '95.
As we're like these fucking in real life. People that know us in real life are like fucking lying
right?
bastards. Lying
kind of
mother. Yeah, sons of bitches.
Anyways, you don't look like Chris Hemsworth. You look like Robert Downey Jr.
No,
Come on now, be real.
You look like you ate Chris Hemsworth, motherfucker. But yeah. So we may not have an episode next week. We'll definitely be back the week after.
Yep. And Steve's just making up shit because he's really going to be hungover all this time because this is the episode Dirty 30. So he's probably going to be drinking a lot, partying.
Yeah, lots of water and fucking
high quality
Metamucil and water and Metamucil. Shit is going down.
Stay regular.
Yeah. But shit, man. Rob Zombie confirmed the news that we had already heard, a couple months ago, probably almost.
Yep.
Now with that.
It was confirmed today.
He's doing a Munsters movie, which he finally, I don't know why he took so long to confirm it. He probably had to wait for the green light from the studios or something. But this one makes me nervous.
Yeah. I've always loved Rob's music, most of it, and I really enjoyed his first two movies. Corpses and Rejects. Corpses is still my favorite, probably always will be. But the rest of them are hit and miss.
Yeah, I mean they're good. If you like a good gory movie, you know what I mean? Watch it. They're good. I enjoyed them.
Yeah.
But I also really enjoyed Munsters and the vibe that the original show had. And I don't want this. I want him to stay true to the, to the material. I don't want him to turn this into a Rob Zombie movie.
We know that he's a big fan of both Munsters and the Addams Family. I mean, it shows. If you watch the old Dragula video, he's riding in Herman's drag racing car, in the video, and he has the original Addams Family polar bear at his front door in his house. I mean, so he's really into the stuff. I'm
hopefully his love for it is enough to
hoping his
make
love
him
will
stay
bleed
true
through.
to it.
Yep.
Because I just the Munsters is funny.
Yeah.
Keep it funny and lighthearted. There's nothing wrong with that. And I think if he could pull it off, a fun, a movie that feels like the show, I'll have a lot more respect for him. Not that I don't respect Rob Zombie and his work, but I'll see more dimension to him than just, let me make this fucked up movie that.
And he can make comedies, he made the animated one, the El Super Beasto film.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's capable of doing it. So yeah, as long as he is true to what the Munsters is and he's made enough serious monster movies, have some fun with this one.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what let's hope that's what we get. Let's we mentioned the Mad Bros promo segment. Why don't we jump into that? Mad Bros is we'll let him tell you about it. We have Patrick from the Mad Bros, and we'll run that, and we'll be right back.
Hey, this is Dr. Gangrene. You're watching the Steve. No, you're not. You're listening to the Steve and Crypto Show right here on whatever network you're on. I don't know what you're on. Don't ask me. I can't see what you're doing, but keep listening and tune in next week for more cool content on the Steve and Crypto Show.
Hey, we're on the Steve and Crypto Show, hanging out with our buddy Pat from Mad Bros Media. He's going to tell us about his site and his channel and his new Zoom podcast show that he started. And I believe they just wrapped the first season of the show. Tell us about the show. Tell us about some of the guests you've had on your first season.
Oh, well, we've had 3 to 4 years of the Mad Bros Media Show, which is, we call it the #1 pop culture show in the Pacific Northwest.
We're tied.
And,
So we're tied.
We're tied, yeah.
Yeah, we're tied.
Yeah. And people ask, what's the difference between your shows and other shows? Well, we're, like I say, pop culture. So it's very, all kinds of stuff. We go from horror, pop culture movies, TV, music, anything that's really hanging out in the Northwest, whether it's a con or a concert or a comedy show or a fair, art shows, all kinds of stuff. And we recently just did a 10-episode Zoom show, and we had guests like Diane Franklin. We just had Larry Hankin from Friends, and he's been in a bunch of stuff. We've had Scott Schiaffo from Clerks. We had Marilyn Gigliotti from Clerks. We've had some local people. We've had, Abby Eck, who does stuff around here in the Northwest. And just a whole bunch of local stuff and people that are in the pop culture scene.
Okay, and there's a lot of shows like yours and ours, like the Steve and Crypto Show, Mad Bros. There's a ton of podcasts and online interview type shows. But what sets Mad Bros apart from the rest?
Well, like I said, we've expanded out to Zoom. We have a podcast as well, and we've expanded on that. We've made it a 3-part series, which is a flashback of, it's called Backtrack, and that's this audio podcast of our previous shows from the years. And then we have, of course, our Mad Bros Zoom show. It's just a podcast version of our live show. And then we also have our segment Kevin's Kids. Kevin's Kids is dedicated to one of our heroes, Kevin Smith. And like I said, we've had a few guests on, and hopefully we'll have Mr. Kevin himself.
Yeah, I think he's kind of a dream guest for a lot of us.
Yeah. Well, so is the main cast, like Jay Muse. And I've been trying to get a hold of Holler, and I've been on his podcast talking to him, via text and chat. Man, he says he'll be on one of these days, but it's kind of hard to get him.
Busy people, man. Busy.
Oh yeah.
Busy people. What so have you started planning the next season yet?
We have one guest, Richard Norton. We're shocked to get him because in the martial arts world, he's pretty popular. He's like fought almost everybody, like from Jackie Chan, Sammo Hung, Cynthia Rothrock. And he's also a stunt coordinator. He's been in a lot of stuff. He was in the previous Mad Max with Charlize Theron and Tom Hardy. And he's been in some movies with Will Smith, where he was a stunt coordinator. And he's living in Australia. But it was so shocking. We just sent an email to a bunch of people. We sent an email to him, and he said, yeah, let's do it. So it's like, oh. So now we got to plan it because the time zone is different. So we have to get a hold of him a day before because it's like a day after time difference.
Right. So, yeah, you're going to be like having to record an episode at like 4 a.m. or something.
4 a.m. or 8 o'clock at night, where it's like 2 p.m. the next day over there.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be tricky to time up. You'll get it done. That's a pretty interesting guest. I'm not super familiar with him, but sounds like
look him up. He's pretty popular. I was impressed because he's a stunt coordinator for a lot of movies, other than just being in a martial arts legend.
All right. What about you mentioned Kevin Smith, of course. He's a dream guest for a lot of us. Who are some like 2 or 3 dream guests for the Mad Bros Zoom podcast?
Well, obviously one of the people we're trying to get is Mark Hamill, which is obviously out of the league, but it's a dream guest besides Kevin Smith. Let's see, maybe Mike Myers. I know it's hard to get, but maybe Ringo Starr too.
Yeah, that'd be.
I know that he's done Zoom shows, so we're trying to get a hold of him. We did get invited to one of our shows we did was Vets Aid, and we were hanging around with Joe Walsh, not up doing an interview, but we're up close personally. We're actually the only media at the event other than his personal cameraman. So that was a honor to do.
Right. Did you try to approach him to do some stuff?
No, we were just allowed to film him around when he was doing a visit to the Vets Aid, the veterans offices.
That's pretty cool. What was the Vets Aid event about? Was it a concert or was it?
It was a concert for vets, for veterans. Right. It was it was Joe Walsh, it was Haim, James Taylor, Don Henley, Chris Stapleton, and then of course at the end Ringo.
Wow, where was that at?
That was the Tacoma Dome. That was like 2 years ago.
Really? That's big.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty exciting.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah. It's like I crossed off the Eagles kind of because they were singing a couple of songs together, and then crossed off James Taylor.
So yeah, the vet aid thing sounded pretty cool. I missed that. I didn't even know that happened. But you mentioned you started the show. You started Mad Bros Media like 3 years ago.
Yeah, we started like around 2014, 2013. Well, 2013 we started going to cons because they were starting to get popular around here. I think ECC was the first one we went to see Shatner, and then we heard about Crypticon, and at the same time we were both like filming weddings and stuff, and so I was getting some practice editing stuff, making montage, and I started doing one for Crypticon. And one of the coordinators, Dee, she saw it and said, "Oh, you guys are so great. You want to have some free passes?" And so we got in a couple of times. And then like maybe the second time, I think I said, "Can we do a show there?" And she said, "Absolutely." So a part of the evolution of Mad Bros is dedicated or thanks to Crypticon, because if Crypticon wasn't there, we probably wouldn't have had a show. Crypticon is like a big part of Mad Bros Media. So, thanks to Troy and thanks to Dee, it was a blessing to have them help us out. And as soon as we got guests from there, we started promoting us all over. And then, we got into RCC, we got into Jet City, got into Ace, a lot of places because of the guests from Crypticon. Let us in, and then eventually we just started having show after show, and then a lot of more yeses than nos, because in the beginning there was a lot of nos, and then all of a sudden a lot more yeses because of word of mouth, and then of course the shows that are on YouTube.
Right on. That's pretty interesting and a neat way to get started. So you never really had intent to go the route you're going, but it just happened.
Well, I did a show at TCC a long time ago with a couple of friends. We did a similar show called What's Up College Edition, and we would go as a college TV show. We would go to like Emerald Queen, we'd go to the fair, we'd go to different places and highlight, events and do shows like that. And I got to interview back then Willie Nelson and Edward James Olmos. So
nice.
Yeah.
So that's really the roots of Mad Bros.
Mad Bros,
back in the college days.
Yeah.
Right on. Where do you see Mad Bros in the future?
Well, hopefully, if we get some sponsors, just keep doing the show for another couple years. Maybe branch out into film. I mean, we had an intent of using this as to shoot weddings and then like make a feature film. We still have a plan in the works in the future to make a feature film. So when we have a couple of people out in Seattle that are in the film business. Well, actually, we have a handful of people that are in film business. So right. We're planning to come up with a script, eventually sit down and come up with a good script, and then with the help of them, and then we'll see how it goes.
Right on. Well, that's something cool to look forward to. Where can people find the show, all the shows?
Well, the show of Mad Bros Media is on YouTube. You just type in and search for Mad Bros Media, or you can go to YouTube / Mad Bros Media. And then we're also on Twitter, Mad Bros Media, all one word. That's probably the fastest way to get a hold of us. And then our podcast is on Anchor. Mad Bros Media, Anchor.
Awesome.
And cool, Anchor, man. They would show the different places. If you don't want to go to Anchor, there's different list of other sites that are showcasing our podcast.
Right. Yeah. Anchor hosts us too. I like Anchor. It's a nice, simple platform to just upload your audio, or you could actually record it right on your freaking browser. Which is
I like the little music I put in the little intros. There's not a lot there, but I like to mess around and kind of adjust the audio, the music with the background. It gives kind of like a little touch to it.
Yeah, it's definitely a good situation on Anchor, and they distribute you to a handful of podcast platforms right off the bat, so that's pretty cool. But so you guys check out Mad Bros Media everywhere, watch some of their awesome interviews, and keep supporting those guys and help building up all these great creators on all levels. And thanks, Patrick, for hanging out.
Thank you for having me, Steve.
Yeah, man. We will talk soon.
All right.
Hey, we're back. Those guys are pretty cool. I always dig the Mad Bros. I always like hanging with them at conventions, like I mentioned before. They do it. They're cool. Kevin's Kids or whatever their episodes are called, but are trying to have a lot of like people that are parroting Kevin Smith stuff, and they just recorded a short episode with Jay Muse, which I guess they're releasing pretty soon, which should be pretty cool. So congrats to them for that. That's a pretty good get for them. He's definitely somebody I would love to have on our show.
Oh yeah, point. For sure.
But I meant to mention before when we're talking about movies and stuff, I believe it's this week, Shudder premiering the lost George Romero film, The Amusement Park. And they say it's supposed to be quote, I'm going to quote here, it's been promoted as a hallucinatory nightmare about the horrors of aging, which and some people call it his most terrifying work, which is I don't know enough about it, but I'm excited. George Romero is my guy. He created his own universe that I'm like obsessed with, and he created my all-time favorite horror movie, which everybody knows what that is. So I'm looking forward to watching this. Looking forward to you telling us about some new shit coming out from our friends at Fright Rags.
Yeah, I love that place. Their website, man. Like Fright Rags has some amazing stuff.
I wish it was a place.
I think of it as a place. It's a website, but I think of it as a place. That's a wonderful place I go to find all the beautiful things that I love to think about. Anyway, Fright Rags has been bringing you the best in horror apparel and accessories since 2003, offering a wide range of products for your favorite creature features, slasher flicks, and cult classics. Collections include John Carpenter's Halloween, Universal Monsters, Steve's favorite, Night of the Living Dead, Creepshow, Twin Peaks, one of my favorites, Evil Dead, and so many more. And last week, Fright Rags flashback reprints went in stock. So they have shirts featuring Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Thing, Evil Dead, Trick or Treat. And one I personally thought was pretty cool is Samuel Loomis Haddonfield Lager shirt. I think I might have to get that. I might have to get that.
It looks like a popular, there's a popular beer company. I believe they're based in Boston that is pretty well known. I'm not going to say their name. I mean, if they want to pay me, if they want to throw us some money, I'll say their name all day. But they, it looks like their kind of logo, and it's got, Loomis from the Halloween series, of course. Obviously, people know who the fuck he is that listen. But that's definitely
a lager that I would drink.
Yeah, it's all this stuff is officially licensed and available now at fright-rags.com.
That's right. Steve and Crypto Show listeners get 10% off when they use the code SteveCrypto10, one word, SteveCrypto10 at checkout. So please make sure you go over there to Fright Rags, get you that Haddonfield Lager shirt, get you a Trick or Treat shirt. They have a lot of good ones. I mean, you're gonna find something that you need. I'm sure you're gonna like. Okay, I can wait on this, but I gotta have this one now.
Yeah, if you like horror and pop culture, fright-rags.com. Go check those guys out.
That's the place.
And Steve Crypto 10, use that code at checkout and get you a deal. Because we love deals. I think that about wraps this episode. Thank you guys. Don't forget, swing by our Buy Me a Coffee page, buymeacoffee.com/SteveCrypto. And contributors till July 31st, we're going to put you in a drawing for free shit and come on the show. That's what we should call the contest. The free shit in the show or something. I don't know.
Free show and shit. Free shit in the show or something like that.
Shit. Yeah, don't shit in the show or don't shit on the show either. But anyways, yeah, get over there. Buymeacoffee.com/SteveCrypto. Contribute. Get in the drawing.
That's right. Get in.
And
we want to talk to you guys.
Come talk with us. Tell us your story. And we thank you guys for listening as always. We've been to Steve and Crypto Show.
Yep. I'm Crypto Zoo.
And I'm Steve. Pretty sure unless you're the police asking, then I'm not telling you my name. Anyways, thank you guys for listening.
Catch you next time. Peace.